from the campus of California State University, Sacramento. This is Made at Sac State. The College of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies. SSIS includes the Department of Government, Psychology, Anthropology, Public Policy and Administration, and the prestigious Center for California Studies, and so much more. We now welcome Dean Ted Lasher from the College of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies, and graduate student Ryan Roebuck. Thank you both for being here.
Thanks.
We're going to start with a question to Dean Lasher. Tell us a little bit about some of the jobs that our graduates from the College of SSIS are getting when they earn their degree or degrees.
Well, the good news is that they are getting jobs to a large extent, and really in a great variety of fields. We've had people in recent years who've been hired as legislative aides. We have somebody who, from the PPA program who got a gubernatorial appointment recently. We've had people who are managers in places like Nordstrom's and other stores, with dietitians, and all kinds of different things. I think the notable thing is just how varied the jobs are that people have obtained recently. I
want to try something a little bit different here. I want you, since you know Ryan and kind of invited him here as our student guest, to introduce him for us and just tell us a little bit about him before we ask him his first question.
Well, I knew Ryan because my home department is public policy and administration, and so I knew him a while back, and then he was a student in a course that I taught last fall on collaborative decision-making methods. And he was a good student in the class all along, but then we got to a particular point where we were doing a special project that involved looking at the services to veterans across the CSU system, across the California State University system. And we decided to combine, this was an initiative of the Chancellor's office, and we decided to use our class to do some of the work because the class had to do with collaborative methods. So Ryan took the leadership on that, and he did a really excellent job organizing that and facilitating everything. And he's also done an excellent job with his thesis, which he's about to finish up next week, on reporting veteran services. So I think he really represents well what we do here.
So Ryan, it's your turn now after that long introduction. Tell us a little bit about what you're studying at Sac State and some long-term career goals.
Okay. So I started at Sac State in 2007. I actually got out of the Marine Corps on Friday, and I started school on Monday here. And I got my bachelor's degree in government and social science, and then I started with the public policy and administration program for my master's degree in 2010. I'm just about to finish that up here, as Ted said, next week. And then in the fall, I actually am going to law school, and I hope to specialize in public interest law.
And you're a veteran, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And want to ask you a little bit about your work in the Veterans Center and how you kind of combined all of this together with your degree.
Yeah, so I think that coming here as a vet and being able to be a part of us building a good veterans program at Sacramento State, having great professors in the social science department as well as my peers, it really inspired me to kind of give back to the campus community. And I've worked in the Veterans Center for 4 years at Sac State. And it also helped me get more involved in school. I became the president of the SVO for a while. That's the Student Veterans Organization on campus, as well as served in student government on the ASI Board of Directors since I've been here. So kind of working at school, being part of social sciences and being very interested in my education really helped me give back. And also, if you're going to study politics or political science or policy, Sacramento State's a great place because of all the opportunities you have to intern at the Capitol, which is something I did as an undergrad as well.
I wanted to ask the Dean about that, just our closeness to the state capitol. How does this benefit our students?
Well, really in a lot of ways. Ryan emphasized appropriately internships. We have the students who graduated then can sometimes get fellowships. And then also in a whole bunch of other ways, we have students who work on research projects that are research projects for state agencies and things of that sort. We have people from downtown come to campus and serve as guest speakers, and all kinds of ways that we're connected with the Capitol and state government downtown.
I want to thank you both for being here. Thank you for taking time out from your studies and your dissertation. And thank you, Dean, for being here.
Thanks.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
All right. For more on the College of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies, you can log on to our website, csus.edu/made/TV. And still to come.
The Project for an Informed Electorate is doing basically what the title says. We're trying to inform people who are going to be voters.
Hi, my name is Frances Palou. My major is Sociology, and I'm made at Sac State.
My name is Seth Abbott. I'm a Psychology major, and I was made at Sac State.
Here we go. It all comes down to this. There's the handoff. He's going to left. He's got an opening. What a move. Look at him. At the 20, the 15. He's going all the way. Touchdown. Wow. What a success story as this kid has come out of nowhere. And now look at him. This is a real game changer. The fans, they're going wild. Talk about a defining moment. Only here. Only at Sac State. This is pandemonium.
Hi and welcome. This is Made at Sac State, the video magazine. I'm Gloria Moraga. Joining us now is Professor Kim Nalder from the Department of Government. Thank you for being here.
Sure.
And student Aaron Rodriguez. We're going to start with the professor. Not only are you a professor in the Government Department, but you're founding director of the Project for an Informed Electorate. Tell us what that is and just give us more information on that.
Sure. So the Project for an Informed Electorate does what the name kind of sounds like. We just sort of realized that in this media environment that we live in, there's just so much information coming in, and so much of it is manipulative, so much of it is spun, and people are just really hungry for a chance to get information that is sort of more objective and sorted through for the high quality content. And so that's basically the mission of the project. We do events, we do research, and we also have a website that has lots of good information on it.
I know that when people get ready to vote or start thinking about voting, they're really very confused. Is this something to address that and all the propositions and everything that's on the ballot?
Yeah, we've had a couple of, some really successful events around the initiatives in particular last fall. We did initiative events downtown and here on campus where we had nonpartisan, objective experts analyze the initiatives and just sort of say, like, this is what they mean, this is what they would do, and then you use your own value system to decide what that means for you and how you'll vote. And people are just hungry for that kind of information.
And Aaron, you are a government student and work with Professor. Tell us what you're doing in the center or the Project for an Informed Electorate.
Okay, so I work in the Project for an Informed Electorate Media Center Lab, and I do content analysis of the past election local TV news. We're trying to code the bias for that, the political side parties, and to help out the actual local TV news so that when the next election comes around, they can do a better coverage of it.
Is that something that you'll be sharing with all of us and them?
Yeah, we'll be putting out a report. We're also looking at the TV news, but also the advertising that's broadcast during the TV news. So we're looking at changes in after Citizens United. So are we seeing, more misleading ads or more ads, and what's going on with that, and how much is the media coverage correcting misinformation or providing good information? So we'll have a report out on that. It takes a long time. Poor Aaron and the other students have to crunch through all of this and watch a lot of local TV news to get through that data. But yeah, we'll be issuing a report. We'll do it jointly with the Sacramento Media Group and California Common Cause. Mm-hmm. And then we'll be doing academic research based on those data as well.
So one of my questions was going to be, what did you learn during this presidential election cycle? So actually you're in the process of kind of gleaning all that information that you got. So was that a valuable lesson for a student?
Yeah, it's a really interesting process because I'm actually watching news all day. So I'm kind of going back in time a little bit, but it'll be interesting to see how it all comes together, and especially the super PACs, and see how those impacted the election will be really interesting.
I want to ask you, what are your long-term goals? What do you want to do with what you're learning here in government?
I want to, this summer I'm going to intern at the Capitol, and I want to eventually go into political campaign management and that side of the political part. I really this has helped me with analysis and stuff, and I like the strategy of it, so I think that'd be really interesting.
And Professor?
A lot of our students, we're so lucky here at the Capitol of California that we have a great internship program, several internship programs actually, And a lot of our students have the opportunity to get that hands-on experience before they go out in the workforce. So, you know, many of the campaigns around the state are run by Sac State grads.
All right. Well, we want to thank you both for joining us and talking to us from the College of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies in the Government Department. We love all this.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we really want, if you want some more information on the Project for Informed Electorate, you can log on to their website, and that website is csus.edu/SSIS/PIE, which stands for the Project for an Informed Electorate. And still to come, the Center for California Studies, as we continue our visit with the College of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies.
It's not just doing a little job, it's continuing a legacy.
Hey, this is Brianna, and my major is Sociology here at Sac State, and I am made at Sac State.
Hi, my name is Manji Baines. I'm doing an econ major. I made it at Sac State.
Sacramento is the hub for what happens in the state and what happens in the nation. Being able to be here and affect policy and try and make life better for all Californians is something I'm so glad to be a part of.
Welcome to Made at Sac State. Joining us now, Steve Boyard, Executive Director of the Center for California Studies.
Morning.
Good morning. Thanks for being here. Tell us a little bit about the center.
Well, the center, we just celebrated our 30th anniversary here at Sacramento State. And the mission of the center is to strengthen democratic governance in California. Now, it's a pretty broad mission, but it's coupled with a real focus on California studies, interdisciplinary sense. And so putting those two together makes us a pretty unique entity.
When we began, I listed some of the programs, but why don't you tell us a little bit more about each of the programs and what actually our students, our grad students and the fellows in the program, what they do?
Sure. Well, we've got many programs. One we're best known for is the Capital Fellows Program. And that's, as you mentioned, 4 fellowship programs in all the branches of government that are basically 1-year paid fellowships where we take college graduates and place them in government. It's not just spending time there in government, but we also have orientation, mentorship, and academic seminars. We also have our Legischool program, which focuses at the high schools and tries to engage high school students as citizens to better understand public policy. We have a Faculty Research Fellows program, which leverages the research capacity of the whole CSU system and applies it towards public policy problems in California. And among other things, we also do a lot of programming and conferences. We do an annual Envisioning California conference, which really is a flagship convening every year of people who understand, study, and care about California.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about the Fellows Program and why this program is consistently voted one of the best in the nation.
Yes, we're very proud of that. There's an organization, vault.com, which does a survey of all internships throughout the country every year. And for the last 3 years straight, our Capital Fellows programs have been in the top 10 of all the internships in the country. And I think there's really 3 reasons for that. They're not just an internship. They include an orientation component where we take these students and give them rigorous training about how you work, survive, and succeed in the Capitol. We have a mentorship component where the professionals within state government that our fellows are placed with mentor these students and take them under the wings and explain to them their departments and offices. And then there's an academic component where Sacramento State faculty teach seminars to these students every week. So you put it all together and it's a very rich, robust experience.
Steve Boyard, thank you for spending some time with us, Executive Director for the Center for California Studies.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
Thank you for being here.
Sure.
For more on the Center for California Studies and the College of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies, you can log on to our website, csus.edu/made/TV.
Hi, my name is Duan Heldman. I'm a psychology major and I'm made at Sac State.
Hi, my name is Adam Mendoza. I'm a sociology major and I'm made at Sac State.
Joining us now, two graduate students who are studying and working at the state capitol. Welcome, Patrick Lee and Samantha Contreras. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we're going to start with Samantha. Samantha, first, tell us, give us the name of your fellowship, because you're working on the assembly side, right?
Yes. Our fellowship is the Jesse Unruh Assembly Fellowship Program.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about the program. Kind of share your experience with us.
We are graduate students with Sac State, but we are placed in assembly member offices, and so we are there doing legislative work, moving bills through the legislature and working on different committees with our members and really being a part of the legislative process.
All right, Patrick, tell us about what you are doing currently at the Capitol.
You know, no single day at the Capitol is ever the same for an Assembly Fellow. One day you attend a briefing on veteran affairs, the other you attend a conference on the state of the judiciary and the California courts. And as Samantha said, you know, you assist lawmakers in pushing legislation through the process. And so it's an amazing experience to be able to learn and be part of the fabric of democracy. And at the same time, fellows participate in a graduate level seminar where they're able to build a foundation for the next steps in their professional and academic career.
Tell me, what are your long-term career goals, or are you sure at this point what you want to do?
You know, I think that's a great thing about the fellowship program is that it opens so many doors into the future. And many fellows, you know, either stay in the Capitol and in the political community, or they go into nonprofit, the private sector, they go into third asset lobbying. So, you know, at this point of the fellowship, I think there are so many doors that are open. It's just not very sure. But I think that's a great thing about the fellowship is that it opens you up for many options.
Samantha, I wanted to ask you the same question.
Sure.
What are your long-term goals here?
As Patrick said, the Assembly Fellowship Program really opens so many doors, but I am sure that I want to continue working at the state capitol to really fully understand and be a part of the legislative process. We're only there for 11 months, and so it's only the brink of the career that I want to see myself in the long term.
I want to give folks just kind of a peek into when you first started in the fellowship program, because I know it's not easy to be accepted into the program. Mm-hmm. Did you have any idea what it was going to be like?
No idea.
No.
All right, so tell us about that. So, you know, you're there and you actually have some inside view of how laws are created and made. You tell me, what was it like? If you want to start, Patrick, tell us a little bit about what you thought it would be, and then...
You know, I think like many Californians, I think we only get a snapshot at the surface of politics, and then suddenly you get drawn into the fellowship program and you get to see how laws are actually made. And I think for me what was most shocking is to see really the diversity of people that participate in the lawmaking process, from committee consultants, you know, from staffers, and so there's a wide range of people that play into the process. And so I think for me to see so many people that have a stake into the political process was a really enlightening experience for me.
Same question.
Well, for me, I think, you know, our state has faced many intense fiscal challenges in the last several years, and so coming in as fellows, we came in after a very you know, successful campaign season. You know, it was, I think what was most surprising for me is the fact that, you know, our democracy does work, because a lot of us have a lot of misconceptions about, you know, the people in the Capitol doing everything they can to provide the best services and, you know, the education to California, and I believe that we are providing the best service we can.
In a few words, describe how great this program is, the Capitol Fellows Program in Sac State.
Go ahead.
I mean, what I came to learn, you know, being in a new fellow in the assembly is, you know, how prestigious this program is. I don't think I fully was aware of that. I mean, the assembly program has been around since 1957, and so we were immediately embraced by the chief clerk, who is a former assembly fellow, and you know, you just meet alumni of the program everywhere you go in the building, and they are really willing to help you do the best work to do the best work you're doing, but and then to help you get to that next step after your fellowship program.
Patrick.
I think the fellowship program is an incredible experience, and part of it is the level of mentorship that you receive. And as Samantha said, it is a very prestigious program in the Capitol building, and so I think Capitol staffers around the building really want to take care of the fellows, and they provide that mentorship, they keep their door open, and you receive that level of training that is very personal. And at the same time, you get exposed to very different issues, and the growth is just amazing. And so I think in life there are very few opportunities where you get the chance to do something that matters, and I think definitely the fellowship is one of those.
Thank you both for taking some time out from your work at the state capitol, your studies at the state capitol. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For more on the Capitol Fellows Program in the College of SSIS, please visit our website.
Hi, my name is Elsie Venegas. I major in psychology and I'm made at Sac State.
My name is Juan Parda. I'm a psychology major and I was made at Sac State.
Welcome to Made at Sac State, the video magazine. I'm Gloria Moraga. Our focus today, College of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies. And thank you both for joining us. We're talking about the psychology department. And joining us is Professor Emily Wickelgren, Vice Chair of the Psychology Department, and student Crystal Sims. We'll start with you, Crystal. Tell us a little bit about what you're studying in the psychology department.
I've been taking a lot of classes with regards to my passion, which is children. So I've taken some classes in normal psychology, psychology of exceptional children, also drugs and behavior, multicultural psychology, some very interesting courses.
And you're doing this because you want to, what do you want to do after you get your degree and go forward in a career?
After I get my degree in psychology, then I'd like to go forward to become a school psychologist, so I'll attend and hopefully apply for the graduate studies program for school psychology.
Professor, tell us a little bit about what students who want to study psychology in the psychology department, what kind of courses they take, and who are we talking about here?
Well, the psychology is such a broad field, as you know. It's dealing with human behavior. So we have a lot of different courses that students have the opportunity to take. And the way our major is set up is they can pretty much figure out and tailor it to what their interests are. So someone like Crystal, who's interested in counseling, we would work with her on figuring out what would be the most appropriate courses for her to take. But somebody else who, say, is more interested in going into applied behavior analysis or industrial organizational, or somebody who wants to go into a graduate program in a research field like social psychology or clinical psychology or cognitive psychology, we would work with them on what courses would be the best ones for them to be taking, because it really is, we have many different courses that students can choose from.
Now, I know that there's been some state cutbacks, and it's been difficult. A lot of schools cut back on their school counselors and that kind of thing. Are there jobs out there for psychologists and people who are studying what you have to offer in your department?
Oh, absolutely. And of course, if somebody is interested in going into something like counseling, which is in the mental health field, there's a lot of different kinds that they can go into. So there is school counseling, there's marriage and family therapy, there's also applied fields that are not necessarily counseling but still working. So in the applied behavior analysis, working with children with autism, for example. And then just in terms of things like social services, we have students who go into social work as well. So there's many different avenues to take, for someone who is interested in that.
And it's great to be able to pursue passion.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about your Sac State experience and how you're going to stick around a little bit.
Well, I thought I was going to be nervous coming to a university, and when I got here, this is an amazing campus. And I've been able to get involved in programs like honor societies, leadership initiative programs that have allowed me to develop my professional skills as well as to work with individuals. I'm also involved with Prospects Peer Advising in the psychology department, where we're able to advise our peers and help them, walk with them along through their success academically.
And how closely do you work with your professors? And maybe I'll ask the professor to answer that back the other way.
Oh, the department is amazing. The faculty there have open doors, office hours, in the departments as well as in the programs that we're in. We work with them, TAing research. We can be teachers' assistants and research assistants along with them, but they're very energetic and helpful and want to make sure that we succeed and remind us that they themselves were students at one time, so they really know how the process works and have lots of great advice to help us be successful.
All right. Well, thank you both for being here. We appreciate it, and we look forward to hearing about your career as you move forward. All right. Thank you both. For more on this segment and Made at Sac State, you can log on to our website at csus.edu/made/TV.
My name is Justin Reyna. I'm an econ major, and I'm made at Sac State. Hi, my name is Julio Zuniga. I'm a psychology major, and I'm made at Sac State.
I'm Alex Gonzalez, president of the university, and we're proud of all of our students who are made at Sac State.
Next week on Made at Sac State, the College of Continuing Education provides educational opportunities for adults, working professionals, remote learners, and English language learners, and more. CCE provides cutting-edge courses, including training for healthcare professionals, seminars for employers, and workshops for employees. CCE has been a part of our university community since 1951.
There are programs that are available. We have people who are 59 years old. We have single mothers with 4 children who are making life work, and they're in school and they're successful. So if we can do it, pretty much anybody can if they just set their mind to it and go for the gold.
Join us next Thursday when we learn more about the College of Continuing Education. Thank you. Thank you for spending some time with us in the College of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies. We look forward to exploring more of our colleges and sharing the Made at Sac State story. And we leave you now with video of the state legislature at work on the Senate and Assembly floors at our beautiful state capitol, a place where Sacramento State's interns in the Fellows Program work, study. Please enjoy.